Good afternoon. I'm Arlie Powell with Petals from the Past Nursery, and we would like to show you some different types of pruning on blueberries today. These are rabbit-eye blueberries. The particular planting that we're in right now is about 8 to 10 years of age, and they require a certain amount of pruning. I commonly prune our blueberries after we harvest. That's generally the best time to do it, and that usually hits late July, August, maybe in early September. So the plants that I'm pointing out right here, we have already trimmed, and I have one behind me that I was going to use as an example to show basically. This one doesn't have really low branches. We could have left a few lower branches on this one. It's pruned a little bit high, but basically it has good conformation. It's got strong branches, so when it loads with fruit, they don't reach down and touch the ground. These plants are 6 feet apart. The rows in this planting are 12 feet apart, just to give you some perspective. We always try with a rabbit-eye blueberry to have the crown of the plant. As you see, if I hold this branch back and look at the crown of the plant right here behind me, there's probably about 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 canes comprising the crown of that plant. And a blueberry grows by producing new canes every year, new canes. So we commonly will come in after they reach age of about 7 or 8 years and start taking out one of the old canes per year. I can do that in late winter. I can also do it in late summer. But what we like to do once we're through harvesting in late summer is come in and cut back a lot of the wood that may have died as it fruited, a lot of the branches that are overlapping, and it works beautiful if we do that. So what I would like to do here is, so that when they're loaded, the branches are not down on the ground, is we simply cut them back to some upright branches. As you see right here, this is a pretty good height for fruiting, and I'll simply come in here. Anything that's dead or weak, I simply cut it out totally. I'll reach in like this, take out a branch I know that's going to get low. If I see a branch that's a little spindly, a spindly branch means when it gets fruit on it, it goes way down. So what I do is I simply cut it way back, just like you see here, and on pretty much it's a matter of simply taking out the weak and the dead and leaving all the good branching in here that is possible. And all this that's crowded too much, I simply take out a lot of the crowded branches. For example, I'm taking that interior branch out because it is not needed. I'll reach up high on one like this, and I'll bring it back down to a new shoot, like you see right here. And I'll take this out, I leave those new shoots, and I cut this old shoot back to some good secondary shoots. But I'm trying to reduce the height. I do not want a plant that we have to use a ladder on. That's not desirable whatsoever. If I have a plant that has uprights, as you see right here, and they have not divided, I'll simply cut the tops out of them to get them to branch next year. Again, I want to reduce the height of this plant. I do not want it fruiting excessively high, and I try to keep these no taller than about 5 to 6 feet maximum. And that's what you see that I've got right here. Come in like this, prune these back. I always take out old wood, try to leave new wood. New wood is kind of easy to identify with this time of year because it's nice green foliage that persists right up till frost time. But again, to come in and simply continue to prune out excessive shoot growth. A lot of the low branches that you see here, I won't take time to prune this entire plant, but just to give you some idea. This entire shoot will load with fruit all the way. And if you notice what I've done here, and I'm going to make one more cut here, as you see, this one I'm going to bring it down simply because it will fruit quite beautifully way up high. I want it to come down some. Now, these I simply take the side off, as you see right here, do this, as you go around this plant, basically what you see me doing is taking out overcrowded, excessive branches. As you see here, what you end up with is a fruiting surface somewhat like this. We would take out this really low material that you see here. This is good, the height's good. We come out 3.5 feet with our bark, with our mulch. That's where I'll let the branches come to. Beyond that, they're not needed. This plant is capable of producing anywhere from 15 to 40 pounds of fruit, depending on the year. But this just gives you a little perspective. When you go in and a branch like this that has a new shoot here, a new shoot here, I'm going to cut where I take off the old stuff and leave the new shoot and thin out any of the other things that are weak and are dying. For example, here's a little branch here. And what I'm doing is simply removing branches that are so weak they're really unproductive branches.